This is a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
Well, and a pleasant good evening live from Two Familia Restaurant over on 2nd Gore, 2nd Street and Lee, right off of 2nd Street, and the inaugural Cameron Basketball Show. And we're excited because if you're ready for basketball, this is a night for it. So we're going to talk everything from men and women's basketball with the voice of the Cameron Aggies, Mr. Steve Adams. And Steve, I was going to kind of joke around with you first. How's retirement been?
Retirement is wonderful.
Everybody says the same thing. How is your golf game? That's the second question.
It needs a little work.
But you are the voice of the Cameron Aggies. You called it last year, and we'll kind of start off with that about the excitement that you kind of carry over into such a start of a new year.
Well, first of all, I want to thank Eric, thank you, and the Oklahoma Sports Network for doing the Cameron Basketball Coaches Show, and Two Familia Restaurant. In my limited Spanish, I know that Two Familia means your family.
Okay, there you go.
So now get an idea when you come here to Two Familia. And, the basketball season unofficially started last Tuesday night with Aggie Madness, which has been an annual event for several years now, where the players got to showcase some of their talents, and the athletic director, Lou Izzy, handed out T-shirts with the new logo on it.
I like that logo, too.
And I want to thank Lou for asking me to be the model of Old Kim for this logo. So, the rugged, muscular type. So, anyway, with me, Kevin O'Connor, the men's basketball coach here at Cameron, and Jeff Mahoney, the women's basketball coach, both starting their third year here at the university. Coach Mahoney's been here a few years longer than that, and in fact was the interim men's coach for about half a season, three plus years ago. And we welcome them. Since they are the coaches, it's kind of their show. And Coach O'Connor, we'll start with you. Of course, last year, you started out to finish last in the Lone Star Conference, and it was just such an amazing season. We ended up finishing 17th. We were 18-12 overall, 13-9 in the conference. We finished tied for 7th. Lost that tiebreaker, so we go to the Lone Star Conference tournament. You have to play the number 1 seed, which was West Texas, and you got a great win over them in that first round game. And then had to face Eastern New Mexico, lost in that semifinal game to the eventual Lone Star Conference champion. And, when you look back on that season, what are your thoughts about the way that season started or was projected and the way you all finished up?
We were happy with it. It was a good year. Not satisfied by any means, but, going from being picked last to finishing 7th and winning a game in March, I think we have some positive momentum building up for our season this year. Really excited about the new guys we brought in, and we're going to miss the seniors and the guys who moved on. But, just really excited to get rolling. We've had 3 exhibitions, 3 scrimmages so far, and next weekend's the real thing. So just excited to build on what we did last year and have a better year this year is our goal, and play into March.
Don't want to spend too much time on last year, but you lost some really great basketball players. Andre Washington, Jalen Thomas, Jaden O'Cone, Ty Elder, some of those guys you had in coached in junior college as well. It's kind of sad sometimes to see those guys go, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, but also, Jalen's playing overseas in a country called Azerbaijan, and he's scored 28 in his first game, and I think he had 18 in his second game. So he's still playing, and those other guys who graduated, they're going to represent Cameron well in the real world. So just cycles of life, but it was fun coaching them. Jalen and Andre played for me at Murray State, and Jaden took a big chance to come here unproven, and I'm really just proud of those guys because they went through a really tough year, winning 4 games to winning 18. It was they saw the highs and the lows, so I'm proud of how they played for us and how they represent represent us now as Cameron alum.
So you lost some good players, but you got a couple of really great players coming back. Reggie Prudhomme and Lavelle Broadneck specifically. You know, those two guys were started. Miles Gursky, Jason Ingram, Brody McElhinney,
Yep.
and we're going to meet him a little later on in our show today. So, you know, just having Reggie and Lavelle back, that's a great nucleus to start on, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's so Reggie's 4th year with me. Did 1 year with me at Murray State. Then this is going to be year 3 for us at Cameron, and Lavelle 1 year at Murray, and then the 2nd year here. So they have good synergy together. They're really close friends off the court, play well together on the court. So they make me look smart.
So we've got 9 new players. We're going to meet 3 of them later on here in the show. You know, how do you feel about the class you've got coming in?
So college basketball, there's a lot of turnover at every level. So we're really excited about the new guys we brought in, freshmen to transfers, junior college transfers. You know, just excited to see them all come together and do the best we can.
Do you have a philosophy about, well, you know, I need so many freshmen and so many transfers, or, you know, if you get 6 great freshmen, will you take them all, or are you looking for some guys with a little bit more experience sometimes?
You know, I kind of treat it like we just want to get the best players we can. I think there's a lot of benefit to getting a freshman point guard who can be in your program for 4 years and learn. And, you know, I think point guards have the ability to get better and better as the years go on, just like any position. I think big guys are like that too. But, like, we just like to have balance. So this signing class, we had 3 junior college transfers, 2 Division II transfers, and 1 true freshman. So that was our recruiting class this year. And I don't think there's an exact science to it. There's going to be teams that go all freshmen, teams that go all transfers, teams that go all Division I transfers, teams that go all junior college transfers. There's just a lot of different ways to do this thing, and try to get the best guys we can.
Well, let's talk about your staff. Darren Klein, are you going to have to help me? Kleinhans.
Yep.
Well, last year he's listed as a GA. Now he's listed as an assistant coach. Is that the deal, or is he still considered a graduate assistant?
He wears 2 hats. So
Okay.
both of them are still in graduate school, and both of them have a lot of responsibility. You know, when it comes to scouting, when it comes to player development, I ask a lot of those two guys, and they help us out a ton. You know, in-game adjustments to scouting reports to film breakdown. These guys do a lot, and they're ready to be full-time assistants when they leave here. I promise you that.
And your other GA is Adam Goro.
Goro, yep.
And where did you find him?
I coached Adam for 2 years at
Oh.
Murray State. He's from West Africa, Niger, Africa. Found him in Albany at a prep school, and he's just stuck around. He's a great guy. He's good with the players, good individual improvement coach with our big guys, and we still throw him out there in practice, and he helps us get prepared every day.
You mentioned you've had some scrimmages. Talk a little bit about you know, how you feel about the chemistry and trying to figure out all these new guys with the guys you have coming back, and, you know, how they're meshing.
You know, some good, some bad. We're 0-0. So, you know, we're figuring it out. I mean, I tell the guys, too, like, it's practice for me, too. You know, there's subbing patterns that you got to figure out. There's different lineups play well with different lineups, and there's a lot of things you can learn from a team in scrimmage scenarios. And, you know, scrimmages are a little bit more difficult than practices. Games are more difficult than scrimmages, so it's a nice segue into the season. You know, we had our final scrimmage yesterday, and we're ready for the real thing.
And the real thing starts next Friday night.
Yep.
CSU Pueblo, team you beat last year. And then Saturday you've got Colorado Springs, a team you lost to by 2 points. So first game's in Pueblo, second one Colorado Springs. You looking forward to this trip now?
Yeah, 2 true road games. You know, your crossover challenge with the RMAC schools, they're super important. I truly believe in my soul that we missed the NCAA tournament by 1 game last year. And, you know, whether that's the first game or the last game, they're all the same. So these ones are really important for regional ranking purposes, for everything. So we're going to be ready to go.
And then a week from Friday, our first home game, November 15th against Adams State on the Aggie court. A team you've played before last year?
I've never coached against them. No,
Oh, okay.
I think Jeff, you played Adams State last year, so that's what you're thinking of. But another RMAC opponent, the teams that we have the potential to face off with in the NCAA regional. So it's going to be 4 really, really important games to start our season, and we're going to try to do the Lone Star proud.
All right. Coach Kevin O'Connor, the head men's basketball coach here at Cameron University. Let's look down the road to Coach Jeff Mahoney. Again, in his 3rd season. Last season, a little disappointing, 11-17, but 10-12 in the conference. Just missed out on that conference tournament, didn't you?
Yeah, we scheduled really tough preseason. Had a lot of injuries. Kind of played shorthanded all year. Struggled to have any consistency to be able to beat the really good teams on the road. We just, we finished in a 3-way tie to go to the tournament and. Lost out on the tiebreaker, and the year before we won the tiebreaker. So you don't want to put yourself in those situations. It was kind of our own doing. We knew when we dropped that game at Fort Smith early in January that may come back, and it did, and they got to go and we didn't. But we played some good ball last year. We just weren't as consistent as I would like to have seen us. It
seemed to me, injuries are part of the game. That's going to happen. It seemed to me like we had more than our share last year. We had some players that never even played or played one game, and we had some players that, they're there for a couple of games and they're out for a couple of games, and it's hard to get that chemistry going, isn't it, when you have that?
Yeah, and really there was only 1 or 2 basketball injuries. Everything else was either some sort of sickness that came upon before they got here, or something that flared up on them that they'd had when they were little, things like that were out of our control. And it makes it difficult because we can't go out and press people. We can't, transition and play as fast as we would like when you don't have but 8 or 9 bodies over on the bench. And like you said, it's part of what, part of the college game. But if you fall into that, and we haven't had that in the previous 5 years here. We hadn't really went through that kind of sickness, injury, short roster. So that's something that we've got to stay healthy, and we feel like we're a lot deeper this year than we were last year. Can play a lot of kids a lot more minutes. And I think a lot of last year's falters down the stretch were because of our lack of depth and not being able to rest some kids as much as we should have.
Well, like Kevin, you had some seniors that graduated and moved on. KK Lake, kind of your point guard. Corey Allensworth, a big scorer for you. Katie King is just, an exceptional player that you've been around for a long time. It's tough probably for you to look out there and not see Katie on the floor, isn't it?
Yeah, I coached her for 7 years. But it's like Kevin and I have talked. On the other hand, I've got to find a new point guard, and that's been kind of fun. From a standpoint of point guard by committee. And Katie was ready to move on. She's ready to move on with her life. She got her degree here. She put 4 really good years in here and is up at Southern Nazarene now, and they're already playing. And so very proud of her. Like Kevin said, when you have those alums that go on to be successful, it's really important. Corey's up at UCO taking her 5th year up there. And, again, proud of her. She had a great 3 years here, and then we had some other kids. Courtney Cash is playing overseas in Greece.
Oh wow! Okay.
And so, and KK got her accounting degree, and last I saw, she's spanning England and overseas, taking trips, and so I know all of those kids are going to go out and represent Cameron University in the black and gold.
Well, you got the one starter back, Shamika Smith, but Aggie Madness, she was on crutches. So what's the story there?
She rolled her ankle that day in practice. The crutches are gone, and she's ready to roll. She's a pretty good cog to start with, too.
Yes, she is. You got some other players back, but nobody that had a lot of playing time. Again, pressed into service because we had so many injuries. You got Emma Nunley, Tiffany Liddy, Chloe Heidebrecht. Chloe Heidebrecht looked like Caitlin Clark at the Aggie Madness shooting those 3-pointers. Are you counting on her to do that again this year?
Well, as a freshman, she won that thing too at Aggie Madness, and we really missed her last year. She was a kid as a freshman that came in. She hit 5 or 6 threes down at Frisco in the conference tournament at the end of the year, and we were expecting big things last year, and then we lost her basically the entire year, didn't have her. Lonnie Gillespie, great kid. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better teammate. She's went through 2 ACL, season-ending ACLs, and so she's back healthy, and we're hoping the best for her. And then Emma Nunley's a local kid that was a freshman last year that came in and played 12, 13 minutes a game, and I think she was just like, oh, you know, I wasn't expecting that. And done us a good job. You can count on her. Kids trust her. And then Tiffany Liddy was a transfer coming in from Southeastern last year and kind of just was trying to find her way and figuring out, you know, the Lone Star way. But she has really improved, and hopefully this year can give us some meaningful minutes.
I thought Tiffany had a tough job last year. It seemed like she had to spell Shamika in the post, and she's only 5'9", and going up against women sometimes of 5, 6, 7 inches that she had to give up when you put her in there.
Yeah, she's undersized, but she's probably pound for pound the best athlete on the squad. When you go down and watch her work out in the weight room, you know, she jumps well, she's athletic. It's just a matter of her getting some confidence and things like that. And again, great kid, highly intelligent. I think she's double majoring in science and some other thing that's way out there. I don't know, but she takes a lot of labs and chemistry classes and things like that. So very proud of her as well.
Well, you brought in some new players, 3 freshmen, 5 transfers. Talk a little bit about what you're looking for when you brought those kids in.
Well, you know, Kevin said a lot of the same things that I would say to you. The one thing I think is when you go out, you try to find the best competitor, the best athlete, the best kid that can be a great teammate and represent the university, be a great student, work hard in the weight room. And the 3 freshmen we brought in are all from winning programs. They are all leaders. They're all going to contribute this year. Kinley Gore from Sealing, you know, she won 3 state championships and then finished as a runner-up, I think, the other time. Won a couple state championships in track, so the kid knows how to win. Had a couple older sisters that played at ORU and the Southwestern, so she comes from a tradition-rich community. Krista Gomez from down here at Geronimo just led her team to big heights, you know, had them up in the top 10 all year and fought some ankle injuries and things like that. But just, again, a local kid that's going to go out and represent the way we want to represent. Our other freshman is Madison Griggs. She's from Mansfield Legacy, played in a very, very competitive 6A district down there with Duncanville and DeSoto, a lot of those big-timers. And she was on the all-conference team as her freshman year. She was the pick as a freshman. And so she comes into us and has looked really, really good in our 2 scrimmage and exhibitions. So she's about 5'10", can kind of play inside out, very athletic, knows how to play. And then our 5 other kids are all a little older, a little more experienced, and gonna mix in very well with what we're trying to do. We've got a couple kids from East Central that have come over. Kennedy Cummings running the point for us. She's had spent 3 years playing over there. Good leader, played with Shamika in high school, so they knew each other from that standpoint. Grace Alverson played from Liberty Christian down in Argyle, very high-level basketball program, and spent 4 years playing at Southeastern. Played at a high level down there, so she comes in, really can score the basketball. And then, like I said, we've got some other kids that have come in as well. You got Aubrey McGehee from East Central. I tried to recruit her out of Shawnee in high school. She went to Western JUCO and then East Central on me, but we finally got her here. She's been battling some injuries and things, but hopefully, we can get those things taken care of and she can get herself back playing. Zaria Landry's a kid that we found out about from the state of Washington that had went to in the Carolinas and played, and extremely athletic. Goes and gets basketballs like nobody I've seen when we can get her hooked up. And she's a little undersized. She's kind of like Tiffany was last year. It's just kind of like trying to figure out, where she fits in with us and things of that nature. But and then the last one is Mercedes Mancha. She's a JUCO kid from Hill Country down, and then from Manville, Texas, and Houston. And her sister, you probably remember her sister, the Mancha kid that played at UTPB last year that just torched us every time we played them. So she looks a lot like her. So I thought, hey, let's jump on board and bring little sis in. So, I just really like our group. I think there's a lot of competition for playing time, and that's a good thing.
Well, you get your season started also on Friday with Adams State, and then Saturday it's Harding University. You played both of those teams last year, and you lost to both of them. So how do you feel about going up against them this year?
Well, we played Adams up there. That's a tough old trip. They're really good. They were an NCAA team last year. And then we played them on Friday, and looking forward to that. We played them pretty tough here, and they got away from us late. Then we played Colorado Springs, and we beat them here last year. But they won the RMAC regular season last year, and so we'll go there. And then we get Harding Tuesday coming in here. So
be the first home game.
That's
Tuesday,
a big one.
November 12th.
Yes. Yeah, that's a big one. They'll be a top 20 team. They've got a 6'4" All-American that we played against the previous 2 years. So they're the real deal. Coach Kirby, Tim Kirby from Chattanooga, and Cameron coaches up there, does a great job, and it's always a good time. Kind of reunion for all of us. Tim was a year younger than me, so we played against each other in high school, so it's always a lot of fun.
Well, I want to ask both of you. The Lone Star Conference has gotten so big. You only get 6 pre-conference games. Coach O'Connell, I'll start with you. Is that enough to get ready for that grind of the Lone Star Conference?
It's all we get, so we got to be ready.
Would you like to have more?
I'm fine with how it is, to be honest with you,
Okay.
Steve. It's, we play a couple Oklahoma schools, 4 Colorado schools, and then let's get to the Lone Star competition. It's a really tough league, really extremely well coached, a lot of really good players. So we're gonna have to bring our best every night. That's how it goes. Anybody can beat you. There's not much difference in talent level from 1 to 16. So there's a lot of ways you could lose, but
Okay. Yeah.
we're excited to get to it.
And Coach Mahoney, 6 pre-conference games. How do you feel about that?
When I was in high school, I wanted to get every scrimmage I could get, And as I've gotten in college, last year we go in our very first scrimmage, we get a thumb injury to Katie, and we don't have her for, so I'm kind of like Coach O'Connor, we in practice we're going to be ready as long as we get a couple of exhibitions in where we can kind of see what the pace is and get a little timing down. But I'm not big on going out and scrimmaging a bunch and things like that, because that's where you get kids hurt. That's where you get maybe some false sense a little bit. So for us this year, practice was what we needed.
Okay. Well, we're going to take a break, and we come back. We're going to meet some of these players for the men and women's basketball teams here at Cameron University. We'll be back right after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Whether you're buying or selling, today's real estate market is proving trickier than ever.
We've been doing this for over 22 years.
So if a problem does arise, you can trust us to solve it.
Let us use our years of experience to guide you to buy or sell your home.
Trust the team that's gotten it done with over 12,000 deals done in the last 22 years.
Always call our Payment Berries team.
We're not bragging, we're just applying for a job.
Well, the inaugural Cameron Coaches Show live at 2 Familia here on Lee Boulevard. We want to thank our sponsors, Juice Land, also Pam and Barry. Nobody sells more real estate than Pam and Barry. They're not bragging. They're just looking for a job. And then Scott's House of Flowers, and then also Gomez Electric. So those are your fine sponsors, and you can be a part of that too. And in fact, we're going to have this is inaugural Coaches Show, not really going to be on a maintained Sunday. It's going to be on Tuesday nights at 6 o'clock, same location. We'll start that in December when the seasons get started. But now it's on to the Cameron women.
Yeah, and following up on that, Eric, it'll be the first Tuesday of every month.
Very
after
nice.
That. So the next show.
Mark it on your calendar.
December 3rd will be the next Cameron basketball coaches show. So visiting with me now is Kinley Gore, and next to Kinley is Madison Griggs. They are both freshmen, and this is their inaugural season, obviously, at Cameron. And since Kinley, you're right here, we'll start with you. You're from Sealing, Oklahoma. Tell us a little bit about you and some of your background playing basketball.
So I'm from Sealing, and it's a very small school. It's a Class A school, and we were fortunate enough. We made it to the state tournament all 4 years, and we actually ended up winning 3 years in a row, my sophomore, junior, and senior year. So I grew up in a good community and a good school that supported every program.
In Sealing, isn't that where Gary England's from?
I think so, yes.
Retired meteorologist. Okay, so three-time state champion. What's that like? Do that 3 years in a row. Because you think just to do it once is a big accomplishment. Were you the main impetus of that, or you obviously had some teammates? How did you figure into all of that?
So my class was a big class, and we've been playing together since we were in first and second grade. So we grew up playing, and we played as a team, and we'd worked hard all through the years, and it obviously paid off for us at the end of the year. So.
Okay, and how did you go from Sealing? How do you end up here in Lawton at Cameron University? Tell us a little bit about that recruiting process, how that went.
Coach Mo just recruited me towards the middle of the season, and I came down here twice, and I liked the place, I liked the coaches, and I met several of the players, and it felt like it was back at home.
And did you have other options, from that standpoint?
I did. I had some other options, but coming here, I liked the community, I liked the coaches, and it was just where I fit in best.
And what are you going to major in?
Right now, my major is in sports and exercise science.
Okay, which about, 2/3 of the team is majoring? I used to joke all the time with the girls. I said, now, one of you goes to class and the rest of you sleep in? Is that how that works?
No.
That doesn't work out that way, huh?
No, we get in trouble if we don't go to class.
Well, that's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we have Madison Griggs from Mansfield, Texas. That's the Houston area, is that right, Madison?
No, it's kind of by the Dallas area.
Oh, you told me that. Okay. Yeah. Oh, all right. So tell us a little bit about your high school career and some of the things you accomplished.
I went to a 6A school, so it was a pretty big school.
Big, yeah.
Yeah, and I started all 4 years of high school. We had a good team. We had a lot of people that went Division I, which was really good. I had a lot of good captains around me, which brought me up as a person as well.
And what position did you play?
I played shooting guard.
Oh, okay. And is that kind of what you're going to do here?
Basically, it's the same position.
So you're listed as 5'10", and I know these things get exaggerated.
I am 5'10".
Oh, you are 5'10"? Are you 5'7"?
I don't know if I'm that tall.
Almost.
Maybe.
Okay. So, 5'10", you're one of the taller players on the team, and you're going to be a shooting guard?
Yeah, I play both. I go in and out.
Okay. And do you like shooting?
I do.
And you more of a drive the lane and get to the basket, or shoot the three?
I'd rather drive to the lane.
Okay. And is that fitting in well with everything that's gone on so far?
Yes, it does, because it creates options for the other people as well.
Okay. And so then you like to dish it off and get some assists as well?
I like to drive so I can have more opportunities for my other players.
Okay. So you guys have had some scrimmages, lots of practices. I don't know any player that doesn't at some point say, I'm just ready to play some real games.
We are. We're very excited to play in Colorado.
Yeah. And have you been to Colorado before? Have you guys traveled much?
I've never been to Colorado, but we do travel a lot outside of basketball.
Okay. And
I've been to Colorado for vacation. We go skiing up there. We just go visit.
Okay. All right. So what is it like coming in? You see 3 or 4 girls that have been there a while, and you're coming in as freshmen. Then you see some transfers that have some experience. How do you fit into that? Are you a little intimidated by all of that, or you just jump in and say, I'm as good as they are?
I wasn't intimidated because I also got recruited just like them.
Okay. And how did your recruitment go? How did you end up in at Lawton from Dallas area?
Coach Mo recruited me in the middle of my season also. I had other options too, but I felt like this was the right fit for me overall and where I wanted to play and how the style of play was.
Okay. And so, of course, as soon as you started getting recruited, did you start paying attention then to Cameron and what was going on? And
I did.
Watching the games on the internet or anything like that? Of course, you have to pay for them, don't you?
A couple of times I came up here and watched some of their games in person.
And I don't know how that recruiting process works, but if you come up, does that count as an official visit, or you just show up on your own, or there's no any question about any of that? Or
it depends on what you're doing. Honestly, if you're just coming to watch, then you're just there to spectate and look for yourself.
Okay. So when did you decide that Cameron is where I want to be? Did you decide before your season was over?
I decided a little before it was over, and then I still hadn't fully decided during playoffs, and then after playoffs I fully committed to come to Cameron.
Okay. And so
I decided in January before the season ended.
Okay. So, I know they're doing away with letters of intent. Did they still have letters of intent then last year for you guys to sign, or you just say, hey, this is where I'm going to come?
I did a signing at my actual school, and I signed it.
Okay. So once you sign it, there's no going back, is there?
No, sir.
Well, that's good. Well, we're glad. Well, what are you majoring in, Madison?
Criminal justice.
Oh, okay. All right. So I got to ask, since I, among other things, taught public speaking at Cameron, whether you're taking your public speaking course this semester.
I'm taking my Principles of Communication.
Principles of Comm, yeah, that was it. Yep. You like that?
Kind of. It's on Zoom.
Ah, okay.
So I got the good part of it.
How about you, Kinley?
I haven't done any classes like that yet. I'm still doing my gen eds.
That is a gen ed.
Well, I haven't done that gen ed yet, but all my classes are going well for me.
Okay, good. And that's great. So next Friday, you kick the season stuff. You're ready to start the season. I'll just ask, are you expecting a lot of playing time? Are you going to be in the starting lineup, or do you have any idea yet how much time you all will get on the court?
Well, we played at New Mexico State as the exhibition game, and I was coming off the bench, and I still got enough playing time. Even if I didn't get playing time, I just want to be there for the team. If I have to do my job on the bench, that's just fine with me. I just want to do my role and what helps the team best. So playing time, I want to play, yes, but if my job is to be on the bench and cheer the team on, then I totally understand.
Madison?
I started in the game in New Mexico State, and I feel like it doesn't matter whoever starts or who doesn't. As long as we're all contributing as a team, at the end of the day, a win is a win.
So you go to New Mexico State, that's a D1 school. How was that competition?
Honestly, it was like any other team we would see in our conference, if I'm being honest. It's like the same talent.
Are you familiar with the Lone Star Conference?
A little bit.
There's some powerful teams.
I know, yes.
But we're going to be
you
one
will
of them.
be, right?
Yes, after
you'll
this
get
year
to
we
know.
will be.
Yeah.
And we will be one of those powerful teams in the Lone Star Conference. So Kinley Gore and Madison Griggs, thanks for stopping by and visiting with us.
Thanks you for having us.
Okay, we're going to take another break, and we'll be back with more right after this on the Cameron Basketball Coaches Show on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Whether you're buying or selling, today's real estate market is proving trickier than ever.
We've been doing this for over 22 years.
So if a problem does arise, you can trust us to solve it.
Let us use our years of experience to guide you to buy or sell your home.
Trust the team that's gotten it done with over 12,000 deals done in the last 22 years.
Always call our Payment Berries team.
We're not bragging, we're just applying for a job.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Whether you're buying or selling, today's real estate market is proving trickier than ever.
We've been doing this for over 22 years.
So if a problem does arise, you can trust us to solve it.
Let us use our years of experience to guide you to buy or sell your home.
Trust the team that's gotten it done with over 12,000 deals done in the last 22 years.
Always call our Payment Berries team.
We're not bragging, we're just applying for a job.
We are back at Two Familia at 2nd and Lee in Lawton, Oklahoma. I'm Steve Adams as the Cameron Basketball Coaches Show continues, and visiting with me now are three of the members of the men's basketball team here at Cameron University. On my right would be first Brody McWinney, and next to him is Aaron Jacob, and on my left now is Mason Dunlap. Thanks for coming, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Brody, I'll start with you because you're the closest right here. You are a returner.
Yes, sir.
And so, how does it feel, having been here a year and experienced that really magical season last year and now coming back for a second year? How do you feel about the position of the team?
I think I'm really excited. I really wanted to come back to Lawton. I had a good couple months back at home in Australia, but I was really excited to meet my new teammates, get stuck into it, practice hard. Last year was really good. We had a really good end of the year. I'm really excited to be a part of this team and make some noise. Hopefully winning a lot of games. Super pumped.
You are from Melbourne, Australia.
Yes, sir.
We have had some success both on the women's side and the men's side, getting some players from down under, so to speak. So how did you end up in Lawton, from Melbourne?
So it was in 2023. I was playing in an AAU tournament in Dallas. A few Lone Star coaches were coming to our tournaments, and Coach O'Connor came to a couple of my games. I went back home and got in touch with Coach, started talking to him, and I thought, Lawton was the best fit, great coaching staff. It's a really good town just to focus on basketball. Loving my time here.
So you're listed as a 6'4". We were just discussing that with a couple of the women. Is that your actual height, or are we stretching it an inch or so?
I don't know. You have to tell me. You have to tell me.
Well, I don't know, but okay. So 1 year in, I know from watching all the home games last year, you didn't get a ton of playing time, but you had your opportunities. What does it look like this year? Are you expecting to be on the floor a little bit more?
Hopefully. Last year we had a really good group of seniors and juniors.
Yes.
I can't take anything away from last year's team, but this year's it's a new team, new dynamics, new players. We're just as good as last year's team. People bring different strengths. We're going to be really good, and hopefully I can see some floor and put my strengths to the test and help this team win.
So you're listed as a guard. Is that where you fit in best on the floor, do you think?
Yes, sir. Probably a shooting guard, so space the corners. Hopefully I can show my shooting ability and play some hard defense and, just do whatever for the team.
And you a three-point shooter?
Yeah.
Okay.
I try. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. Very good. Aaron Jacob, next from Austin, Texas. You're listed as a junior, redshirt junior. Where were you last year?
I was at Southeastern Oklahoma State University last year.
Okay, in Durant?
Yep.
So glad you're in Lawton now.
Yes, sir.
And without getting into all the details, what made you decide, hey, I want to be over there? Over here.
Really just at Southeastern, I had a great couple first years and ultimately ended up not being the right fit for me. So I entered the portal pretty early into the season last year. Coach Connor reached out to me, and ever since speaking to him, I thought he was the right coach and this was the right fit immediately.
You're listed at 6'8". Is that a true 6'8"?
Yes, sir, it is.
That makes you tallest player on the team, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Does the tallest player on the team get a lot of playing time, or
he does?
Does he have to earn it?
Yeah, definitely had to earn it. I've been working really hard. Like, just because I'm tall doesn't mean I'm given anything. And Coach O'Connor was honest with me about that. But I've been working really hard, and so far he's rewarding my work.
So you're playing in the post?
He has me playing more of a guard, but I can play both. Whatever he needs me to do, I'll do.
Okay. So if you're 6'8" and you're playing guard, who's in the post?
It'd be Jackson.
Oh, okay. That's Jackson Ingram, and
Yep.
that I understand. Okay. So you have that opportunity. Are you a shooter? You consider yourself a shooter?
I definitely am a shooter. I shot right under 50% from three at Southeastern, so I've definitely proven myself as a shooter, and I'll continue to do the same.
Okay. What do you average last year, say?
Southeastern last year, I only played 4 games. Like I said, I entered pretty early. My first 4 games, I was averaging around 15, I think, 15 and 6, something like that.
So you only played 4 games. Were you injured, or
no, I was not.
You just decided to.
Yep, just decided it wasn't the right fit, and it was time to move on.
Okay, yeah, that happens. And what are you majoring in, Austin?
I am in business management.
All right. I didn't ask you, Brody. What are you majoring in?
Business marketing.
Business marketing.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'd go back to management. On my left is Mason Dunlap.
Yes, sir.
A freshman from Eureka, Missouri.
Yep.
Wow. How did you get to Cameron from Eureka, Missouri?
Coach was recruiting me. He reached out. I decided to take one of my visits down here, and felt like it was the right fit. It felt like family with the coaching staff and the players, and knew this is the right place where I wanted to be and where I belonged.
Now, about where did that reaching out and your visiting taking place? That about halfway through your senior year, or before that, or?
So my senior year was actually finished. So my recruitment started a little later than most people. It's these past couple of years, recruiting has looked a lot differently with the portal. So high school guys are definitely last on the chain of getting recruited nowadays. And so I got a couple looks from schools after my high school season ended, and then. So everything happened pretty late, but and I think I committed in April. So
okay.
Yeah.
So in Eureka, Missouri, what kind of team did you all have? What was your role in all of that?
I was a point guard, so I still am. Ran the show. They relied on me to score a ton. Was an all-state player there. We won a ton of games. It was a fun team. We play similar style of basketball, similar brand of basketball that we play here at Cameron, and so just looking to win games here.
So you said you ran the point and you scored a lot of points.
Yeah.
Traditionally, point guards are the guys who dish it off and get assists, but you brought it up and then shot it?
Yeah, so we didn't have as much talent around me that we do here, so I was kind of asked to do more last year on my high school team. But, I mean, we have so much talent and so much skill around me where I can pass the ball to anybody and they can go score. Yeah.
So we've had some scrimmages, and when you're out there, are you running the point?
Yeah, so it's definitely more of a combo out there when Reggie's out there. He's pretty established point guard, a senior leader we have, and he's a very good point guard. So when we're out there together, we'll split it. but really any of our guards out there can run the point.
Coach did that a lot last year with Reggie, bringing other people in to bring the ball up court and letting Reggie go out and create at other ends. But he is probably the best point guard. He's a great point guard, but he can do other things as well.
For sure. He's fun to play with, yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
So you guys have had some scrimmages. Brody, how'd the scrimmages go, you think?
Yeah, we've been playing well. We played MacU, who's just in Oklahoma. We played Arkansas Fort Smith yesterday. It got delayed because the court was a bit slippery, so we had to ignore all the hazards, so we didn't want any injuries on both behalves. Another one, who else did we play?
Pitt State,
sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was a really good test. They were really good. So, yeah, 3 good teams. We learned a lot, all of us, both coaching staff and players. A lot of strengths and weaknesses, but, yeah, that's what scrimmages are for, so we can feel good for Colorado this week. So.
Okay. And, Aaron, players talk about this all the time. We're tired of scrimmaging. We're tired of practicing. You ready to play?
Yes, sir, I am. I've been really looking forward to it. The scrimmages have been a blast, just traveling with the guys. Can't wait to get on the plane and get in Colorado.
I know that you've got 12 on the roster, and it's hard, Aaron, when you come in as a freshman. You expect to be Mason. You expect to be seeing some court time.
Yeah, I do expect to be seeing the floor as a freshman. Obviously, I know I have to earn everything, and nothing's given. And we have some really talented, really skilled guys. So, whatever my role looks like, if that's cheering on my teammates on the bench or going out there and giving the ball for a game-winning shot, I'm ready to do all of it, so just whatever it takes to win, but yeah. So.
Okay. Well, we're glad you guys are at Cameron, and we're looking forward to some great basketball from you this year.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Okay. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back with more right after this on the Cameron Basketball Coaches Show on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Whether you're buying or selling, today's real estate market is proving trickier than ever.
We've been doing this for over 22 years.
So if a problem does arise, you can trust us to solve it.
Let us use our years of experience to guide you to buy or sell your home.
Trust the team that's gotten it done with over 12,000 deals done in the last 22 years.
Always call our Payment Berries team.
We're not bragging, we're just applying for a job.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Back at Too Familiar with the Cameron Basketball Coaches Show. With me now is Lou Izzy, the new athletic director at Cameron University. Not new, I guess, been here since back in February.
Yes.
And Lou, we're glad you're here. And, at a school like Cameron, when you don't have football, basketball kind of becomes the dominant sport, doesn't it?
It sure is, Steve. We're very much looking forward to the season, and we have 2 terrific coaches, and they had excellent recruiting classes, and so there's a lot of things to be looking forward to this year. Obviously, the men's team had a good run last year, but I think both teams have the ability this year to get to Frisco for the Lone Star Conference playoffs.
Well, we started with the Aggie Madness last Tuesday night. That was a pretty good event. It had a lot of activity, a lot of things going on. It had a lot of good door prizes. You have to feel good about how that turned out, and it was a big crowd.
Yeah, we're very, very pleased with the amount of people who turned out for it. And we have a new logo this year, so we gave everybody T-shirts.
Very nice.
And I think that
I like
went
it.
out. Yeah.
Did you personally do that? Did you scratch that out?
we had a group of about 8 or 10 people who worked on a branding committee, and we used Varsity Brands, and we were really fortunate to be able to roll it out in the fall. And so it has the Oklahoma logo into it, if you can see it inside of the C, which is really great.
Yeah, it is.
And we modernized Old Kim, our mascot. So we were able, for the first time, to put that on some Nike apparel, and you're wearing it, Steve. So we had a really good crowd. Both sides of the gym were almost full, and good energy in the building. It's a good way to start the season.
So what are we going to do to keep that kind of crowd, even if it's the student body, because in the past, and I've been here a long time, we've had some seasons where, there weren't a lot of students in the stands. Or you have some thoughts about getting more students to come to the games, especially when they're right there on campus?
Yeah. Well, it starts with winning, right? when you put competitive
solves
teams,
a lot of problems.
It sure does. When you put competitive teams out there and more people want to see us play. But we all, internally, we have an entirely new administrative team, and our athletics communication staff went from 1 to 4 or 5 people now. So we're going to have the capability to market our games at a much higher level this year, reach a whole lot more people. We'll be doing some things, some giveaways as the season goes on. And, if the teams are playing well, which we believe they will be, and we think Cameron Gym is a great environment for college basketball. The pep band will be back, and we're very well supported by people in the community. We have some really great boosters. And now we can try to reach the people on campus to get them to come to the games and create a really great home court environment.
Well, and for students and faculty, there's no charge to come to the games.
Right.
Years ago, I used to see Eric at the games, and he said, "Boy, this is the best value in town. Come and pay your money and see two great basketball games." So, what kind of? We have season tickets. Can people buy individual game tickets? How will all that work?
Just on last Thursday, we announced that we have a new digital ticket platform. Hometown Ticketing will be using exclusively this year. We opened our online box office at CameronAggies.com/tickets. So anyone who's interested in purchasing tickets for any of our games, whether they're individual game tickets or season passes, can go on to our website and go to the online box office and purchase tickets online, and you'll receive the tickets either you can download them digitally to your phone, or you can receive them via email or text, or you can download the Hometown Ticketing app and store your tickets right on there. So we're going entirely cashless this year.
Oh, okay.
And the faculty, staff, and students, the current faculty, staff, and students will still receive their free ticket that they'll be able to download by using their Cameron ID. And so we're excited about that. So there's changes going on. I'm sure we'll have some things to tweak as we go along, but we're excited about trying to reach people in the community. And Eric, I agree with you. I think for today's sports consumer, coming to a Cameron basketball game for what we charge is really the best ticket in town to come out and watch a really high level of college basketball. Division II, especially the Lone Star Conference, every night it's a high level of college basketball in a great environment. And, to be able to bring your family and watch these games and be part of Cameron athletics, I think is a great opportunity for the local people.
I agree. It is a great opportunity. Lou Izzy, athletic director here at Cameron University. We're going to take this break and be back with our coaches one final time here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. because your success is our success.
Whether you're buying or selling, today's real estate market is proving trickier than ever.
We've been doing this for over 22 years.
So if a problem does arise, you can trust us to solve it.
Let us use our years of experience to guide you to buy or sell your home.
Trust the team that's gotten it done with over 12,000 deals done in the last 22 years.
Always call our Payment Berries team.
We're not bragging, we're just applying for a job.
You guys are good to go whenever you want. Aaron.
Too Familiar is the location. It's the Cameron Basketball Coaches Show. I'm Steve Adams. As we kind of wrap this one up before we do that, though, Coach Mahoney, I wanted to talk to you because I forgot to mention your assistant coaches. So talk a little bit about them.
Yeah, Caitlin Keithley is a Morehead State graduate in Kentucky, and so she came a long ways from home and is part of the community now, and so she's played D1 basketball, and really her dad's a coach, and so kind of one of them that, has wanted to coach her whole life. So she's hit the ground running. We're giving her a lot of responsibilities, and she's doing a good job for us. Coach Webb, Mike Webb, everybody knows Mike Webb in Lawton. He's been a friend of mine since college, the baseball days here way back in the day, and Mike's very loyal, and he's been with me all 3 years as a volunteer assistant, and he's really a mentor to our kids, and is very popular among the coaches when we go other places because nobody wants to mess with Big Mike.
And Jemiah Johnson, grad assistant?
Yeah, Jemiah Johnson's my GA. She played at Southwestern and is from Allen, Texas, and she's come in and again, everybody, we've got 2 new ones on the staff, and they're both young and just learning as we go, So, but yeah, I like my staff. They all work and participate in what we're doing.
It's a lot of hours they put in, isn't it?
It is, and like Coach O'Connor said, those GAs here, they get a lot of duties. We work them, and they are expected to be right along with us and participate in everything we're doing. So, yeah, really, really proud of the staff that we got put together. It's tough at our level sometimes to get a staff put together, and so fortunate to have them.
Okay, we're going to finish with a little segment I call Rules of the Game.
Let's get to it.
So I'll start with you, Jeff. Simple stuff, but how many timeouts do you get in the game? What are their length? How do you use them? What are the rules for using your timeouts?
Well, ours is different than the men.
Okay.
And so you mentioned the year that I took over on the men. I was confused, and I just listened. When I called timeout, I needed a timeout, and they told me how long it was going to be. But basically, you can when you get a media timeout, ours are at the 4-minute marks, and if you call a time.
5-minute marks.
Yeah, but sometimes I call them at 4.
Oh, okay.
If I call one. But when you call those things, if you call it right before that time, they'll stretch it to a media. And that can get a little confusing sometimes. The referees will pretty much come over there and tell you, hey, we're going to stretch it, and then everybody's kind of hustling around. But and it changes in the playoffs when we go to Frisco and things like that. Yeah. If you get, like when we were at New Mexico State the other day, their media situation was a little bit different than ours because of the NCAA D1, and they gave us a handout before we started. And, of course, it was one of those deals, I think I called maybe 1 or 2 is all I called. So those referees keep you in line, and usually if I'm calling a timeout, I get them over there, whether you use a 30 or a full, and so –
So how many do you get in the game?
Well, I'm gonna take as many as they give me. I think it's 3 and 1 full and three 30s, and then if they stretch them, they stretch them. So.
Oh, okay. And are you required to take one in the? Or not required, but do you lose one if you don't use it
It's
in the first half?
different, like the men.
That's a men's
See,
thing.
and that's the one thing when I was doing the men that somebody would call a timeout right before the half, and I'm like, "What's he doing?" They said, "Well, you're going to lose it, use it or lose it." So I started calling one just because I could,
and the other difference with the women's game is you like to save those timeouts for the last minute of the game, don't you?
Yeah, that's really probably the biggest advantage that we have is if you don't have to use them early, then you can use them late to advance.
Yeah.
And that's
so when you say advance, for those that don't understand, what does that mean?
And that's late in the game, inside the minute, if you call timeout and the ball's not live. I mean, if you catch it, dribble it, and then try to call timeout, you can't advance it. But if you catch it, you can time out, or a made shot, you can call timeout, and then you advance it to the half line. You can go court side, desk side or away, either one. You get your choice, and that can get to be strategic. I mean, it really can change a little bit because sometimes you're thinking, okay, I'm gonna jump into a press, and they advance it on you, and that time takes that away. So,
okay.
but yeah, I like to try to keep as many of them as I can to the end, unless. I try to sub instead of call timeouts a lot of times.
Okay, and Coach O'Connor, you do have to lose one if you don't use it in the first half.
Yep.
And so you also have 4?
Yep, 130, 3 fulls.
130 and 3 fulls.
Yep.
Okay. So that's the difference between the women and the men is you get to advance in the last minute, but he has to use one in the first half. Okay. So, Coach O'Connor, your question, it's a simple one.
All right.
A couple of years ago, they put this little half circle in the free throw lane.
Sure did.
It's called the defensive circle. Explain what that means.
That is the restricted area. If any part of your body, feet are on that area, you are not allowed to take a charge. So you have to have no part of your feet
Talking about
on
a
the
defensive
line.
player.
Yeah. So, and if you are in that restricted area, you can't just stand there and wall up. You have to leave your feet as well.
So if you are in that restricted area and you're standing still and a guy runs into you, that fouls on you, regardless of how long you've been standing there.
Yeah, the thought process behind the rules committee, I'm sure, is that they don't want people standing underneath the rim and taking charges and safety purposes, and also just to clean up the game a little bit.
When did that change? When did they add that?
Probably 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay.
So it also it limits us sometimes when we're trying to find places to scrimmage, actually, because we need that line down and we need shot clocks to scrimmage. Yeah. And if we want to meet somebody halfway, it's hard to find a high school that has both those things.
Yeah, that's right.
The game is played with a shot clock, so like Oklahoma high school should have a shot
clock.
We're
hoping. We'll push for that one day.
Yeah.
You remember the stall ball the other day, last couple of years ago?
It's starting to trend
2-0.
Trend that way, though. Like, I graduated high school from Massachusetts in 2008, and we had a 35-second shot clock. So there's, I think, Kansas maybe. There's a lot of schools that are starting to use shot clocks.
Smart.
So do you think
a lot of states? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Do you think the defensive circle? You think that's been good for the game? You like that aspect of it?
Yeah, it's necessary, definitely.
And do you have to take high school kids and coach them about how to use that?
Well, today's world of college basketball, it's really hard to take a charge. I mean, so I don't coach too many taking charges, to be honest. On the ball, yes, rotating from the baseline sometimes, but the wall up is the new charge.
The wall up?
Yep, the wall up.
Okay. I'll write that one down. We'll talk about that later, maybe.
There you go.
Well, that's going to do it. Before we wrap up, anything either one of you want to add before we get done?
No, just for me, like I said, this has been a long time coming for us, and we're glad that we were able to put it together. And we got with Eric, and, man, it made it all work. And our sponsors have done a great job, and Lou Izzy, our AD, and we got the president here tonight, Dr. Askins, and so I told her a while ago, I said, man, we got the real speaker here tonight, and so, but she said, no, y'all go ahead. But yeah, just for me personally, this has been a long time coming. I've been after this for about 6 years, and we didn't really know how or where or when, and then Coach O'Connor kind of got on board with it, and man, it's a good thing for our program and our school.
Kevin, any final words?
So our next Coach's Show date is December 3rd here at Two Familia. Best tacos in Lawton. So if you'd like to come out and hear us speak and eat some food, this is a great place to come out and do it. Bring your family, bring your friends, have some fun.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up here from Two Familia for Athletic Director Lou Izzy, who has visited with us, Coach Jeff Mahoney, Coach Kevin O'Connor. For Eric Sherem, I'm Steve Adams. You've been watching the Cameron Basketball Coaches Show, the inaugural Cameron Basketball Coaches Show here from Two Familia on the Oklahoma Sports Network.